We are scroll. Hello and welcome to PTV Tonight. I'm Daniel Umwawoso. The Independent National Electoral Commission has accused politicians of misinterpreting its electoral rules on phones and cameras for selfish reasons. Resident Electoral Commissioner for Osun State, Olusegun Agbaje, said at the press briefing in Osogbo that there was no ban on the use of mobile phones at the polling centers on Saturday. He clarified that the commission only asked voters not to hold phones inside voting cubicle in a bid to curb vote buying, a phenomenon that has marred recent elections in the past. The presidency has described Senate President Bukola Saraki as a dangerous person who can go any length to promote his personal interests. It also described the language of the campaign of the PDP's presidential aspirant as one that could not be used against the domestic help. Presidential spokesman Garba Shehu said this in a statement issued in Abuja in response to words Senator Saraki had in the course of his campaign described the president as lacking in vision. But the presidential spokesman said, quote, is he saying these blatantly false? What he's saying is blatantly false and crude things against the president because he is gunning for the same office, unquote. Shehu added that the Senate's president was known to have always used words that are respectful and reassuring when discussing President Buhari before he joined the presidential race. He, however, appealed to all groups and supporters of President Buhari to display restraint in language and to always put across their point of view in decent language.
Vice President Osinbajo in Asaba. The visit is in continuation of a tour of flood-ravaged state. The tour is meant to assess the damage done by the flood. It was also a time for words of comfort.
The President has actually ordered the declaration of a national disaster in 4 of the states, including Delta State, to explain, and this I think underscores the enormity of the disaster here and what needs to be done. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, not just by way of providing temporary relief and succor, which is being done in the IDP camps. And we've also asked that the National Emergency Management Authority.
And to Nasarawa State, where all may not be well with the APC in Nasarawa State. This is coming after Senator Abdullahi Adamu says he refuses to be intimidated by Governor Tanko Almakura in Nasarawa State. The governor has set up a 9-man probe committee to investigate the abandoned Farin Ruwa Independent Power Plant project, estimated at 5.4 billion naira. The project was awarded in 2004 when Senator Adamu was state governor. Adamu said those support the probe panel, but will not succumb to any form of intimidation. And to Benue now, where aspirants are seeking to contest on the platform of the Social Democratic Party in Benue State have decried the high cost of forms. They say it was a wrong step for an upcoming party to take. And then moving on to some fraud issues now, where the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation has denied hiding $470.5 million and 8 billion naira in any commercial bank. The police had announced the recovery of the funds, which it claimed was hidden in some banks. But the state oil company said through its spokesman, Undu Ugamadu, that the allegations were misleading. He said the presidency, the office of the Accountant General of the Federation, and the central bank had been receiving periodic status reports on balances yet to be remitted to its TSA by commercial banks. The NNPC spokesman said, quote, most of the commercial banks had since complied with the presidential directive and completed transfer to the corporation's treasury single account in US dollars, including the reported $470 million, unquote. On the reported recovery of 8 billion by the police, Ugamadu said NNPC was not aware of any change in the presidential directive that all US dollar balances must be transferred to the NNPC's CBN Treasury single account in US dollars. He noted that no such funds had been deposited into any corporation's CBN's Treasury single account. He added that NNPC will resist any attempt to subject the funds to 5% whistleblowing fees. And Nigerians have been expressing divergent views on the government's decision to suspend the National Carrier Project. While some say the country was not ready at the time it ventured into the project, others are of the view that the suspension will soon be lifted. It comes at a time facts emerged that the National Economy team did not want public funds used for the project. Polum David tells us more.
Nigeria's logo and color scheme were unveiled. Many Nigerians heaved a sigh of relief. That was because they felt that a country like Nigeria should have its own national carrier. 3 months later, the plan is suspended. This has sparked up different reactions from Nigerians. In spite of the setback, many have not given up hope. The project is expected to gulp billions of naira, and that has always been the position of critics and airline operators. Now, the economic team wants the aviation minister to speed up the search for strategic investment partners who will finance and manage the new airline. Polum David, PTV News, Abuja.
Moving on to some security stories now, where the Bring Back Our Girls movement has accused the ruling party of capitalizing on its goals to rise to power in 2015. It, however, accused it of lacking the political will to effect the change it promised. BBOG spokesperson was speaking at PTV's breakfast show earlier.
So it's exactly 1,619 days today since the girl's abduction, and it's exactly 1,606 days since we've been daily advocating. And to be honest, the advancement in technology, the availability of the social media has allowed us a free media space to broadcast our stories. So aside from stations like yours that have been solid partners on this journey, there is indeed a clampdown on the mainstream media to disallow our movement's activities to be shown to the public for the powers that be, which is quite unfortunate. We are not reneging. The option is to do nothing, and our group has made a commitment that that is not an option. But BBOG has always maintained that we are regime neutral. If we were indeed supported by the APC back then, we would have folded our mats and gone home the minute they took over the realms of power. But the fact that the advocacy continued, even after the new administration took over, shows you that we're indeed regime neutral. Yes, it was convenient for this present administration to tout the BBOG as a campaign slogan when they wanted to get into power. And whether it worked or not, I have no idea, but they did anyway. And it won them some sense of confidence, because Nigerians have been a deprived people. We haven't experienced a sense of proper leadership or governance. So APC at the time, I might be wrong, gave us a semblance that they cared for the people. So when they strategically pitched themselves to seemingly care, they sold us a dot check. We were to flip these cards, and the names of our Chibok girls, Sarah Yakubu, for instance, were Amina Saraki or Zara Buhari. You think they'll still be in captivity? You think there would have to be a BBOG group to advocate on their behalf? There wouldn't have been. So there is a class divide. It is about us and them. It is clear that they don't give a care in the world if you don't have a name. If your father is not one of those power brokers, then trust me, there are Nigerians who are more Nigerians than others.
Meanwhile, some Nigerians want the authorities to do anything possible to get Dapchi girl Leah Sharibu out of Boko Haram captivity. This comes against the backdrop of threats by insurgents to harm the schoolgirl and 2 aid workers after executing one recently. They told PTV News all the options should be on the table.
As a government, their primary responsibility is to secure life and property. So they've been liaising with the Boko Haram right from time. So for this little girl, for the sake of this little upcoming girl, they can still go on liaise with them, because their major responsibility, we don't know how they want to do it. Their own is to secure life and property. So let them secure this little girl. Let her come back with other set of people that are still in captivity. So that's my stake on it.
To make sure that by giving them something what they want, to make sure they release that girl. You understand me? Waiting that girl will be coming tomorrow. Nobody know. You understand what I'm saying? So my own advice to government is to pay anything, or they can do anything to make sure say they release other girl. Now, for example, now it will come be like say maybe it's a religion fighting now, because that girl is a Christian. Why they have released all the Muslim, they're holding the girl now. When you confirm very well now, you will see that girl now is a Christian, which is not supposed to be so. And the person that is governing us now is a Muslim, which is supposed to use all impossible best to make sure say, yeah, they release that girl. If not, the Christian will be thinking maybe it's because the person in power now is not in religion. That is why I didn't care about them.
You see, to me, if federal government, if they are sincere, the military, they are sincere with what they are doing. When those girls was adopted, where are the securities? When they return them, where are the security? For those people to stay in that community for almost how many hours? And then there is no a single security, police, army, navy, air force, nothing happened to them. Who is deceiving who? That's why I said that it's a business empire. I think, can you get me? It's a business empire. They are deceiving us. They are deceiving us. That's the simple truth. They should negotiate and give them money so that they can release this innocent girl.
Amnesty International has described the killing of an aid worker by Boko Haram insurgents as violation of human rights. The international rights group said this against the backdrop of this year's observance of 2018 International Day of Peace. Imaro Bagudu has the details.
The International Peace Day is devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace across the world.
This year we mark International Day of Peace as we prepare to celebrate the 70th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Here in Nigeria, commemoration of the day is apt for so many reasons. This ranges from insurgency to political violence. Few meters away is the Nigerian office of Amnesty International. For the group, peace and justice go hand in hand.
I think it's important for us to stress very strongly that what happened to the midwife that was killed by the Boko Haram sect recently is very unfortunate. It's against international law, international humanitarian law, particularly because people like the midwife provide a service which protects people. And this act by Boko Haram should be viewed very strongly as an act to cause distress and also to actually exacerbate the current situation in the northeast.
It says its message of peace revolves around the protection of human rights.
Peace is not only a right, peace is an aspiration which all of us desire to have. This year has actually been a very tough year for Nigerians. When you look at the beginning of the year, we started with news of attacks in the middle belt of the region, herders and farmers clashes. And it has continued, escalating violence across the country, spread over 7 to 8 states. And then we've also found that the insurgency has not relented, and people are still sleeping with one eye open, one eye closed. And so the message of Amnesty International on this day of peace is for us to bring our hands and our hearts together in order to find lasting solution to this exacerbating violence, and for people to speak up whenever they see anyone's rights violated. And to the authorities in particular, everyone wants to enjoy their rights in a peaceful and secure environment.
Back to the streets are passionate Nigerians willing to pass their message for the International Peace Day.
It is only in the atmosphere of peace, progress, development can come. Lack of infrastructure, we don't have this, we don't have that. All these things can only be possible if there is peace. And peace cannot be given to us by Oyibo or anybody. We ourselves hold that joker of peace. How do I mean? In an area where you know what you say can cause confusion or what you are saying is not right, please don't say it.
And you can imagine how much a country will lose when there is violence and fight. But when you have peace, it can take you like 10 years to build something. But to destroy it, it's just one day, just one bomb will blow it up. The billions will just go down like that. There's nothing like peace. I really thank God for today being a peaceful remembrance of International Day of Peace. And I really wish that Nigeria, and I love my country too, because most of the things happening now, in some countries, it can even lead to fight, lead to riot and war. But I thank God that there's this extent of peace that everybody enjoys in Nigeria. And I pray it continues like that. Muslim, Christian, let's just come together, love ourselves, and believe in one Nigeria.
For these people, spreading the message of peace remains a song on the lips of every Nigerian ahead of the 2019 general elections. Emmanuel Bagudu, PTV News, Abuja.
The Yobe state government has confirmed 906 fresh cases of cholera, with 61 deaths and 50 others still on admission in the hospital across the state. Commissioner for Health, Mohammed Kawuwa, disclosed this in a statement in Damaturu. He said acute water diarrhea cases were reported in some parts of the state and later confirmed to be cholera after laboratory tests. According to him, 906 cases are recorded in 6 local government areas of the state: Gujba, Gulani, Damaturu, Fune, Potuskum, and Nengere in 2 months. The government had 3 months ago declared that the cholera outbreak had been contained in 5 local government areas of the state. And now Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has commended Delta State for its swift response in bringing comfort to flood victims. He said this during his one-day tour of flood-ravaged communities in Delta.
Vice President Osinbajo in Asaba. The visit is in continuation of a tour of flood-ravaged state. The tour is meant to assess the damage done by the flood. It was also a time for words of comfort.
The President has actually ordered the declaration of a national disaster in 4 of the states, including Delta State, to explain, and this I think underscores the enormity of the disaster here and what needs to be done. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, not just by way of providing temporary relief and succor, which is being done in the IDP camps. And we've also asked that the National Emergency Management Authority move quickly to supply additional relief materials for all of the IDPs. I expect that by the end of today or tomorrow, we should have an additional relief materials, water, food relief, and beddings and all of that, whatever is required, not necessarily in this camp, but in all of the camps, all of the IDP camps or holding camps as they are now called, all across the state. Now the more difficult part, and that's the part of it that we need to discuss fully with the state government, is how to ensure that when the water recedes, when the flooding subsides, how we're able to resettle people and find and be able to bring them back or put them back in a state where they'll be able to continue their lives normally.
Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa accompanied the Vice President to see the damage. But for him, the major concern is to save lives.
We are very happy that he has found time very early to visit Delta State following the flooding which has gone through several states now, because we are aware that in the flooding process, usually Delta State is the last to be impacted. We will do our best as a state to provide the things that you need and to keep you comfortable and to keep you healthy.
The Vice President proceeded to Anambra in continuation of his tour.
Moving on to business, where Nigeria's foreign debt stands at $22.08 billion and the domestic debt hits 3.48 trillion naira. That's according to the National Bureau of Statistics. The Bureau disclosed this in a news report released in Abuja on Friday. A breakdown of the foreign debt stock shows that $10.88 billion is owed to the World Bank and the IMF, while $274.98 million is bilateral. The report added that $2.12 billion is bilateral owed the Exim Bank of China, Japan International Corporation Agency, India, and KWFW Bank, while $8.8 billion is commercial. MBS reports also showed that Lagos has the highest foreign debt profile among the 36 states, accounting for 34.17% of 517 billion naira. Anambra State has the least debt in the category, with a contribution to these of 0.08% of 2.6 billion naira. Still in the economy now, trading activities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Friday sustained a positive growth for the second consecutive day. The market capitalization appreciated by 21 billion alongside other indices. The crucial market indices appreciated further with 0.18% growth following the price gains. Specifically, the market capitalization closed at 11.879 trillion against 11.585 trillion recorded on Thursday. Also, the all-share index rose by 59.28 points, or 0.18%, to close at 32.540.17, compared with 32.480.89 posted on Thursday. Investors traded a total of 523.44 million shares, valued at 3.12 billion, in over 2,700 deals, representing a 131.58% increase in volume. This was against the 226.027 million shares, worth 2.34 billion naira, exchange in over 2,800 deals on Thursday. You're watching PTV tonight. Keep up with the news by downloading our app. It's PTV Nigeria on Android Store and iOS. You can also watch us live via our website. It's www.ptvng.com/live. Follow us also on our social media platforms. It's PTV_NG on Twitter and Instagram. Sports package.
impose. No, we refuse, so now we can wave our banner. Yo, get ready for what we have to offer from Texas boys. We got it on impulse. I say science. We got it on impulse. Silence and games. We got it on impulse. And what? Yo, impulse. The stage is set, so let's own it. They say be this, they say be that, but all we want to be is just us, man. Fact.
Yes, it's warm. Buy an MTN SIM and dial *344# to unleash their potential. MTN Impulse. Learn, play, shine everywhere you go.
Welcome back. Now to the foreign scene, where at least 136 bodies have been retrieved after a ferry sank on Lake Victoria in Tanzania. A police spokesman said scores more were still feared missing. He added that rescuers are still on the search for survivors after the disaster. The ferry MV in Nyerere capsized on Thursday, just a few meters from the dock on Ukerewe, the lake's biggest island, which is part of Tanzania. Initial estimates suggest that the ferry was carrying more than 300 people. 37 people had been rescued from the sea. And German Chancellor Angela Merkel has pledged government action to increase the supply of housing. She said this in response to rising rent and property prices in Germany's major centers. The government recently announced a substantial annual subsidy to families with children to allow them to buy or build their own houses. Fiscal measures, federal land provisions, and the construction of more social housing also has been announced. The aim is to build up to 1.5 million new homes in the coming year. About to Brexit now, where a legal appeal to determine whether Britain alone can change its mind about leaving the European Union should be given consideration by the European Court of Justice, Scotland's highest court said on Friday in a boost to anti-Brexit campaigners. The Courts of Sessions decisions means the ECJ should say whether it is legally possible for Britain to stay in the world's biggest trading bloc if its parliament so decides. Petitioners argued that legal certainty about the process is needed in advance of the British parliamentary vote because no country has ever withdrawn from the European Union. Prime Minister Theresa May's plans for Brexit are mired in doubt over EU leaders cautioned her on Thursday that unless she presented an alternative to her current proposal, Britain would crash out of the EU without a deal. Still on Brexit now, the British government said it was disappointed by a ruling from Scotland's highest court on Friday that the European Court of Justice should consider whether the United Kingdom can unilaterally change its mind about leaving the European Union. The Court of Sessions said the ECJ should consider whether Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, the formal means by which Britain signalled its intention to leave the bloc, should be reversed. The British government statement said, unquote, "We are disappointed by the decision of the court. We are giving it careful consideration," unquote. It also added, "But as the government has repeatedly said, we are committed to implementing the result of the 2016 referendum and will not be revoking Article 50. And in India, a bishop has been arrested in the southern Indian state of Kerala over allegations that he raped a nun 13 times between 2014 and 2016. The 44-year-old woman registered a police complaint in June alleging that the Catholic Church had taken no action despite repeated appeals. It led to unprecedented protests by nuns who came out in support of her. The case has shocked what is one of India's oldest Christian communities and attracted national attention. 54-year-old Ranko Mulakal was arrested on Friday after being questioned by police for 3 days. He denies the accusations but is expected to be brought to court on Saturday. And still in foreign news now, Colombia police have shut down a small museum dedicated to the life of drug lord Pablo Escobar in Medellin. Officers staged a raid to shut down the site owned by Escobar's brother because it did not have a tourist license with which to operate. At the height of the career, Escobar's cartel shipped an estimated 80% of the cocaine smuggled into the United States. He was killed in a shootout with police in Medellin in 1993. And in sports now, Amaju Pinnick, the re-elected president of the Nigerian Football Federation, on Thursday promised to focus more on the youth programs, adding that the football was the winner at the end of the polls in Katsina. The polls was conducted by the NFF Electoral Committee, put in place by the NFF Congress at last year's General Assembly in Jos Plateau State on October 19, 2017. Pinnick swept aside 3 other contestants, pulling 34 votes to second place Aminu Megari 8, with former international Taiwo Gujobi getting only 2 votes, while there was none for club owner Chinedu Okoye. A statement by Ademola Olajire, the NFF's communication director, said Pinnick pledged to focus on even harder on the youth development programs in his second tenure. Pinnick, who is also the first vice president of the Confederation of African Football, was also quoted as saying that there was no victor and no vanquish. Former Premier League star Dixon Etuhu has reportedly been charged with bribery and a minor drug offense. 36-year-old former Super Eagles midfielder who denied the claim has been charged after an 18-month investigation in Sweden. The former Manchester City, Preston, Norwich, Fulham, Blackburn and Sunderland midfielder has been accused of offering a bribe to his former AIK Stockholm teammate Kenny Stamplås to fix a match against Gothenburg last year. Swedish authorities became aware of the allegations and cancelled the game. Swedish Secretary General Hakan claimed a very large amount of money had been offered, as well as a number of veiled threats. Etuhu's lawyer, Johan Ackermans, denied the allegations. Etuhu ended his career in Sweden after 14 years playing in England and now works as an agent. And that's the much we have on PTV tonight. Many thanks for watching. We'll leave you with more sports stories from Larry Uforma. Do have a pleasant night.
Hello and welcome to PTV Sports Desk. I am Larry Uforma. And we'll be starting with African football, where former captain Pierre Abome and Daniel Cousin have been named as co-coaches of Gabon after the dismissal last week of spinner Jose Antonio Camacho. Abome is the father of Arsenal striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, while Cousin, who was a forward at Rangers and Hull City, previously acted as team manager in charge of logistics. Frankios Amaxge, another former national team's keeper, takes over Cousin's role. Now, Camacho, a former Spain coach, was fired last week after winning only 2 out of 17 matches, while he was in charge over the last 2 years. Now to Europe, we have Unai Emery. Arsenal's coach was pleased that Arsenal kicked off their Europa League campaign with a 4-2 home win over Ukraine Voloska Poltava. He, however, could not hide his frustration at the concession of 2 late goals. The North London club were marching towards a dominant victory on Thursday when Mesut Ozil put them 4-0 ahead, but 2 goals in the last 14 minutes from the visitors left Arsenal without a clean sheet this season. Now, Emery called on his players to improve their defensive mentality, especially after conceding a stoppage time goal in a 2-1 win over Newcastle United last weekend. The 2 Voska goals spoiled an otherwise assured display on debut from German goalkeeper Bernard Leno, while Swiss fullback Stefan Lenstrester and Lucas Torreira also made their first Arsenal start. Now, Emery remains hopeful that Torreira will feature against Everton in the league on Sunday after the Uruguayan midfielder picked up a knock on his knee in the second half. Now down to EPL, Manchester United will be missing 5 players for Saturday's Premier League game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Diogo Dalot is to be rested. Marcos Rojo and Ander Herrera are not fully fit, while Nemanja Matic and Marcus Rashford are suspended. Now Dalot, who was signed from Porto in the closed season, impressed on his United debut in the 3-0 Champions League win over Switzerland's Young Boys on Wednesday. But manager Jose Mourinho intends to ease the fullback into the side. The Portuguese youngster joined United while he was still recovering from a knee injury, and Mourinho intends to give him his next run out in the League Cup against Derby County on Tuesday. Now, United came through their midweek European encounter on an artificial pitch, and Mourinho will be able to field a strong starting 11 against Wolves, who are a place and a point below his team in the standings. Now, still on football, Chelsea coach Maurizio Sarri says Alvaro Morata needs goals to boost his fragile confidence. He said this after the striker again failed to find the net in the Europa League match against PAOK in Greece. Morata scored freely in the first few weeks after joining Chelsea last year, but has appeared short of confidence recently. He has scored once in this season in August win over Arsenal. Chelsea have won all 5 of their Premier League games so far under Sarri ahead of Sunday's trip to West Ham, and Willian's 7th-minute strike was the difference in Greece. But the 59-year-old Italian beyond his side inability to finish off their opponents. And that was all on PTV Sports. I'm Larry Ufoma.
On Facebook, like our page and share our posts at People's TV NG. On Twitter, follow us at PTV_NG. Follow us on Instagram at PTVNG. Watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel, People's TV. Visit our website, www.ptvng.com. Subscribe now and join the conversation online. People's TV, People's Preferred Station.
Did you know that PTV remains the best place to showcase those lovely goods and services of yours? Yes, with our visibility in 36 states of Nigeria and over 50 countries of the world, we definitely have the tallest reach. What are you waiting for? Book your adverts now. Call us with the number displayed on your screen.
watching People's Television, your people's preferred station, powered by you.
For innovative research-based analysis, fresh news and programs, join us on PTV, the People's Oriented Station, transmitting on Star Times Channel 120, showing across 36 states in Nigeria, and Channel 77 on Strong Decoder across 52 countries. Yes, you asked for it. Now you have the best of television. You can also follow us on our social media platforms showing on your screen. People's Television, powered by you.
Soldiers helping Nigerian soldiers fight Boko Haram.
We will have to persuade Nigerian legislators.
This is coming together of people who are confused.
Executive order should comply with the law. I personally dissociate myself completely.
From this interview, because you have said
there had hardly been any administration.
Practitioner, one of place the end of justice
under the law. No religious body in Nigeria.
Validate the claims by the INEC chairman. It is.
Elections should not be a do-or-die affair. There's no basis for violence in an election.
If any politician asks them to go and do violence because they want to pay them, let them ask them, any politician, to go and bring his son or daughter to lead the violence.
I want to employ the young people in the forthcoming election not to fight. They should be orderly. At the same time, they must be vigilant.
I support the campaign or vote and not fight. Let us vote peacefully and shun any form of conflict.
I like truth and I dey straightforward. My name is Innocent Dibia. They call me Two-Face before, but now they call me Two-Baba. Yeah, we're here in Osun State for the Vote Not Fight campaign. And we're here to just let the youth know that, let them not be used, let them, go out there, get their PVCs, and then, go and vote for the candidate of their choice. And do it peacefully and, so vote, not fight. Election, not be war. All right, let's go there,
News 24 Extra is taking it up a notch. You can now have news curated to your interest anywhere in the world with real-time notifications. Just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store on iOS. Search News 24 Extra. Download, it's free, it's easy. Now you can catch up with the latest news in politics, entertainment, lifestyle, sports, and much more. So stay connected with News 24 Extra. News at your fingertips.
People's Television Nigeria has gone mobile. You can now watch PTV Nigeria on the go anywhere in the world. For real-time notifications, just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store if you're on iOS. Search for PTV Nigeria. Download. It's free. It's easy. And now you can catch up with the latest news analysis and political discourse on the go. So stay connected with PTV, Nigeria's #1 online TV.
Hello there and welcome to Kids in Africana. I'm your host Lilian Ogazi. Now today I have an amazing chef and a very short, interesting meal. This week again.
Yeah, this week again we have something super amazing.
Okay, last week was amazing and then this week it is super amazing. So what are we preparing this week that is super amazing?
What we have to make today is called Ikira Nyicho. Now, Icho is the name for water yam.
Okay.
Then Ikira is the Ikira made from Icho. So
what is Ikira first? This is the Ikira made from Icho.
The name given to
sounds like Akara.
Yes, but I don't want to use the word akara because in my language we call it ikira.
So ikira nyicho?
Yes, that's to cakes made from water yam.
Hello viewers, welcome to this edition of the Darling Program Banking and You. I'm your regular host, Jerry Ojono.
One of the reasons for the crowd in the banking hall has to do with the bulk of people who use ATM.
One of the banks happened to be one of our very old banks. Okay, they were doing that. They've been doing that for quite a while. You know, the level of education usually cannot be compared to education for those with current accounts. Yeah. Okay, so when you have the situation.
Hello viewers, welcome to this edition of the Darling Program Banking and You. I'm your regular host, Jerry Jonathan. With me today,
People's Television Nigeria has gone mobile. You can now watch PTV Nigeria on the go anywhere in the world with real-time notifications. Just go to Google Play Store if you're on Android or Apple Store if you're on iOS. Search PTV Nigeria. Download. It's free. It's easy. Now you can catch up with the latest news analysis and political discourse on the go. So stay connected with PTV, Nigeria's #1 online TV.
As usual, I am excited today. Like AY has done a whole lot for people. I'm not just his baby mama, I am his manager. And we all know that Wizkid had he had numbers of baby mamas. And
he said you don't need some leaders of the National Assembly.
The worst form of democracy is said to be better than the best form of military regime.
We are trying to build political blocks.
Just days after he defected from your party, I believe is the politics taken too far.
Members of the new board of Police Service Commission.
You know, that's also the fact that his seat should be declared vacant because we have some states that have experienced, you know, some level of insecurity.
The headship or the leadership of the Senate or the House of Representatives.
But I have gone beyond that now, beyond partisanship.
I don't think a lot of you know the crisis in the embassy.
We know that the people of the country are getting more information about what is happening to us.
With what you know about the person, you will go ask yourself.
But one of the things I've come to observe is that
I'm the Agberu. That made me like this Agberu. He don't need PVC. He don't need PVC. I was trying to convince him.
News emerged that Jones Abiri, a Bayelsa-based journalist, is out on bail.
And there's nothing, of course, that makes them to have this guy.
As a citizen, first of all, every citizen has the right
what is happening in the society, what is happening everywhere around him.
From that day, Saraki knew that he was a madman in the APC.
He should ask these people who leaked the information. That is his business.
This is not the first time JSS was taking over the National Assembly.
It may be extremely very difficult to remove a Senate president.
But the question is the viability of most of these 91 political parties.
Of course, you can't prosecute that investigation.
It will be easier for you to have those people with the like minds to join you.
To, da kai da ke da ita da shi da kowa nake so na yi magana da. Me ke faruwa? Kana son karuwa ga ka zaune bakin rijiya amma kana jin ishin ruwa? Gangan jikin siyasa. In ta dangwala ka dangwala na dangwala. Ina amfanin ana yi ba da kai ba? A turancin Najeriya to an gaya maka. No sit down look. Kana sit down kana looking komai na ƙara lalacewa? Ina ka ga daman ƙorafi? Da masu jini a jika ake yi, watan matasa. Kwankwasa a buɗa ki shige, dago ka shaki iska ko kalime, da ƙyar ka sha yafi da ƙyar aka kama ka. No sit down look. Matasa ke siyasa. Yin rajista, karɓi katin zaɓe, yana da amfani ƙwarai kwa.
No sit down look.
No sit down look.
No sit down look.
Make una no sit down look oh.
A popular saying in Nigeria goes that at the time a cockerel matures, it begins to crow to tell the world the time of day. This makes a crucial premise for all of us who have come of age, the youths, to lend our voices to a nation set to flip a new page, like the chance to vote and be voted for, whether being a youth, a woman, or a person with disability, and to do this in unity. And to anyone who hasn't been confident enough to exercise these rights, I beg, step out of the dark and come into the light. I mean, your participating in the electoral process is significant, a moment to behold, like that cock crowing in the morning to tell about a difference. No sit down look. Do something that will count today and be in tomorrow's books. The elections are coming. Register for and get your voter's card, your power card. As a citizen, and especially as a young lady or lad, lend your voice, use your voice, talk, say, and tell the world the time of day.
Ni ne mai suna Tukur Sani daga Kajuru, local government Kufana. Gaskiya mu a garin nan Kufana community duka muka taro muka zauna muka yi meeting game da matsalan hanyar nan, wannan rafin nan mun kai kuka a wajen hakimi, da shi hakimi ya ce to wannan matakin nan shi zai rubuta ya kai ma local government. Daga wurin kuma sai member na skip, wani kungiya ne na zaman kanta, shi ma wani member ya zo ya shigo da wannan budget na wannan gadan nan tun da dadewa, amma har yanzu ba mu samu cin gaba game da wannan hanyar ba. Har ila yau muna kan rubuta letoti, mun ma rubuta leta waɗanda sun ma fi so 10. This is how we in Kufana, Kajuru local government, Kaduna state, no sit down look.
Dub, dub, da, dub, da, dub, da, dub, dub. Yes.
My name is Jane, and I am 18, and this is where I hang out with my friends. We are deeply concerned about the problems facing Nigeria, but when it comes to doing something about it, we would rather sit on the fence.
Hold up. Dub, 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 dub. Dub, 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 dub. Yes. Dub, 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 dub. Dub, 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 dub. Yes. Dub, 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 dub. Yes.
One day as I did dab, they go. Now I see my neighbor on top electric pole. No be how my hold so. Before. So climb every day. Come on, electric bill. You not gree pay. Waiting concern you for there. I beg you. Come over here. Okay, oh. I don't talk my own. As I dab reach house, Yeah! Fire! Fire! My brand new flat screen.
Hold up.
Wetin concern you for there? Abegi, come over here. Government property, na my property. If you no come down now, I go report. No be only report. Na report card.
Dab 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 dab. Yes.
Sunana Yakubu, amma an fi sani na da Yaks. Abu mafi mahimmanci shine har yanzu muna zaune da kwayar cutar polio a kasar mu. Wasu sun san digon rigakafin polio, wato digo biyu da ake bada na baki. Wasu kuma ba su san da haka ba. Wasu suna tunanin wannan digo guda biyu sau ɗaya kawai ya wadatar. Shin digo biyu ya wadatar? Bari mu bincika. Yaya aiki?
Lafiya kalau.
Digon mai guda biyu kawai zai isa so ya kosai?
Ba zai isa ba.
To, ta ce ba zai isa ba. Ina zuwa. Na gode. Shin za ki amfani da digon nono guda biyu kawai ki dama fura?
A'a ba zai yiwu ba gaskiya. Saboda nonon ne yake taimakawa wurin dama furan.
Na gode. Tambaya nake, shin digon ruwa biyu kawai zai isa hada shayi?
Ai ba zai yiwu a hada ruwa da shayi da digon ruwa biyu ba. Dalili kuwa ai ba zai isa mutum ba. Dole sai ya kai kaman kofi daya.
Barka da.
Barka gare.
Da Allah tambaya nake so yi.
Allah ya sa na sani.
Shin digon man fetur guda biyu, digon man fetur guda biyu zai isa ya sa wannan mashin aiki?
A'a ba zai sa shi aiki ba gaskiya.
Dalili fa?
Saboda ai bai wadace shi ba.
Haba.
Kwarai da gaske.
To nan ina zaka?
Dan je nan bayani.
Da Allah bari bi ka. Labai na wani?
Lafiya Allah.
Kwayan gishiri biyu kadai. Shin zai isa ya sa naman nan daɗi?
A gaskiya ba zai isa ya sa naman nan daɗi ba. Sai an ɗan sa gishirin da yawa tukuna sannan a haɗa sannan ya garwaye naman har ya yi daɗi.
Na gode. Kamar yadda muka je, digo biyu kawai bai sa ya wadatar da wani abu mai ma'ana ba. Haka ma digon rigakafin polio. Dole ne yaro ko yarinya su samu digo biyu akai-akai na rigakafin polio. Wannan digo biyu akai-akai shi zai wadatar wajen kare yaro ko yarinya daga kamuwa da cutar koko kowace irin cutar polio.
A classico, I tell you, my 3 points is clear.
Yes.
Eh? They go watch match.